Mm-hmm. Sure, she tell Preston where I am because he's probably gonna look for me to play some video games.
Well, he's got to wait a little bit, and
You're
then
busy.
he can just absolutely demolish you on NBA 2K, whatever you play.
Yeah, no matter how much I try to beat him, I can't.
That's all right.
No,
That's
keep
all right.
trying.
It happens. New time here for Table Talk a little bit later in the day. And I can't think of a more perfect way to kick off our new time slot because we may get a little frisky here on the show today.
Ooh.
That's hard to believe.
Oh, I
see what you did there.
That was pretty good there. If you have questions for our guest, feel free to leave them in a comment. Give us your reactions. Crack those jokes that you always crack, and we'll have some fun. I am Mo, that's Lindsay, and Dvon. Dvon, you have been so excited to bring our guest back onto the show.
Oh, absolutely.
I think she flustered you last time.
Oh, I couldn't even speak the last time, but I'm ready for it now. Anything you have to say, Laura, I'm ready for you now.
Okay, all right. As you see front and center on the screen there, 101 Nights of Great Sex would be the book. She is a New York Times best-selling author for this reason. Ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Laura Korn.
Yay!
Welcome!
Yay!
Welcome back. Welcome back.
I just trying to remember how I flustered Dvon because he's not easily flustered.
No.
Listen, I'm usually not, but you got me that first time. But I'll tell you what, I'm ready for tonight.
Are you now? Have you been doing these sealed envelopes? I mean, am I going to get to drill you again?
Well, here's the deal. I had a mishap with the book. I finally got it back. Yeah, somebody took it, and it was one of those things where I knew she had it, but she wouldn't tell me. And, I figured, 80, 75-year-old woman, stealing my book, I ain't going to accuse her of lying, but she stole the book, and I finally got it back.
That the book has that appeal to it. Women see the sealed envelopes, and they're off on their own, like, damn, this is hot. And they're whipping out the envelopes, and they're like, wow.
So, man, it's great.
I don't, but I like to remember how I stumped you. And I
remember there were certain things you were saying that made me kind of blush, but I was kind of like, oh, okay, wow, whoa, hey, hello. Now I'm ready for you.
Did that have anything to do with number 90, badass?
It could have been about an ass, but
it probably was.
I'm ready for you now.
Are you now?
I'm ready for you.
So I can actually play what's inside the sealed envelope with you guys and see what because I mean, would all three of you you consider yourself really good in bed, pretty good in bed? Where on the spectrum?
Dvon, go ahead.
I'll Steve on first.
Yeah.
Why you gotta ask me?
Because we expected the whole I'm great in bed. We expected that confidence right away.
Listen, Lindsay first, ladies first.
Oh, I see. I mean,
chivalry isn't dead on this show.
Okay, I feel like I'm like okay in bed. Like, I don't know.
Well, all right. So where are you feeling a little not insecure, just not sure of yourself?
No, insecure. It's been I'm not very experienced, I guess you could say. So
that's kind of hot.
It's just really?
This is why I wanted her on the show. This is why I wanted you on this show.
I mean,
we could say that, Laura, and she won't believe us at all. Just two random loudmouth guys. She won't believe that, but she'll listen to you.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Do you read books on sex?
I don't.
Okay, so you know what? That's where it stems from. So you don't feel, because I mean, it's a cliche. Knowledge is power.
Mm-hmm.
But I tried to take the 50 secret seductions for her eyes only in the book. Each one is really a lesson. It's a tip. It's a technique. It's something that not only I'm telling you that you should try, but it also comes from another best-selling book. So these are just the best tools to spice up your love life. And nothing, you probably don't have a lot of experience in bed, right?
She's more of a backseat sort of gal, I think.
Backseat.
Wait, what?
That
What?
No, not a lot of experience in bed. More backseat or
now, see that's a
Oh,
question.
I see.
That's a question should have been asked towards me, and I would have hit you with a
Oh my
bang
God.
right
Yeah.
there.
No. Yeah.
Because backseat Betties are pretty hot.
I know.
But you know what? There's that arc of learning, and it is a lot of fun. It's pretty cool. So you're a beautiful young lady, and
Well, thank you.
I think I gave you a homework assignment last time.
Did
Did
you?
I not?
Did
I
you?
think you did.
I think I
Did
did.
you?
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah. I think I told you to do the velvet tongue, number 2.
Oh, number 2. Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Wow. She's
so
not a very
I
good
just,
student, apparently.
well, it was just also like, like the other, I didn't have another person. Is it like a one person thing, or did I need somebody else for that, or
It could
how does
always
that
be.
work?
Hold on. It could always be a one-person thing. I mean, look, there's been many a times where I made it just a one-person thing and was very happy.
You know
Of
what my
course you
next
did.
book is? I'm telling you, my next book is 101 Nights of Getting Myself Off.
I love it.
I'll
I
take
want
that.
that book.
I'll
Listen,
take it.
I got a thing. I think you and I should read that book together.
Oh,
And
God.
what? No, I'm just listen
Who
to
was he
me.
talking to?
I'm just saying. No, me and Laura should read that book
Okay.
together, and she needs to show the bullet points and everything.
Of 101 Nights of Getting Myself Off?
Absolutely.
Wait, here we go.
I told you I'm ready
I
for
could
you.
come up with 101. That's what's because
Listen, I can come up with 201. I told you I'm ready for you this time.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not
Are
gonna.
you?
I'm ready for you this time.
all right. So Mo.
Yes. I would say I'm good. Could always be better, though. Could always learn.
Yeah, there you go. And last but not least, Silver.
Well, I've been told many a times that it was good. It was good, really good, and
Uh-huh.
was never a complaint.
Are you a triple threat?
Could be.
So, to be really great in bed for a man, you really got to really master 3 skills.
And what's that?
All right. No, you told me you were ready for me.
Ah!
You told me, you're not getting off that easy.
Yes.
You're going to tell me right now what those 3 skills are. I'm ready.
Okay, hold on now. Hold on, because I got hit in the head a lot, so I got the memory. Well,
Oh, it's
rest.
backpedaling now.
Wait a minute. Which head?
Yes.
Laura, that one too.
He was on the road living a lonely lifestyle.
I wouldn't say it was lonely.
I
but-
wouldn't say it's lonely either. Take a look at him.
Pressure's on, Dvon.
Oh, bless your heart. I love it. I love it.
All right, you got 3 skills. What every man should be a triple threat. So tell me what the triple threat is.
The tongue is one.
yeah.
The lower region is the other.
Poundage, yeah.
Poundage. And I'm gonna have to say the third one would be how you deliver it. In other words, how you project it.
The motion of
The motion in the ocean.
That's good. Close, but no cigar.
Oh, what was the third one?
Okay, anyone else? Mo, Lindsay, anyone else want to chip her in here?
I gotta say, it's gotta be the voice. It's gotta be the talking, all right? The sweet talking.
You want it so, but you got that nailed, Mo. Come on, dude. No.
Mo's got that Barry White voice.
By the way, this is the one that all men never get. They never guess it.
Interesting.
And it drives me crazy. And it's what they were really, really, really good at in the very beginning.
Kissing.
Well, that's really critical. You know what? I think there's 4 things, but kissing is really important. But no, it's actually something that you're really good at, like in high school and probably depending on your,
Cheating on other people's tests.
That's it. Wow.
You know what, Laura? I'm gonna say this. Someone just said something, and I'm gonna have to say, is it foreplay?
It's a part of foreplay, but it's really important. Men are really good at this. It's a part of foreplay. Lindsay?
Oh.
Think of all those times in the back seat.
In the back
I
of a
don't know.
1969 Pinto.
Yeah, no, I didn't do that. For
So
sure.
you must master these three things: tongue, really loving to give oral,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yes, I do.
I assume, like with using your hands or your fingers.
exactly. There you go.
Oh.
And this is
Yeah.
the one thing guys just
I
kind
didn't
of
think about that.
forget, because when you're in a relationship, you kind of like bypass the finger.
Mm-hmm.
And yet it's the one thing you should master. Why? Because most women, that's how they pleasure themselves.
Right. Well, and I think also, Laura, is that I think a lot of guys too, and some women, not all women, but some, basically, what brought them to the dance, they forget and don't do it. And
So
basically, I don't get it and understand it. If you want it to work, if you want that significant other to still feel the same way they felt when they first met you, when you first started, you got to continue the process and keep innovating things, keep making things, keep doing it to pleasure each other. I definitely feel that.
it's true. I think we just get in a rut. We get in a rut,
Mm-hmm.
and we just stop. We're so tired. It's hard to be creative. And where do you get these ideas? And again, we're talking about 101 Nights of Great Sex. And just so people that don't know, does somebody want to explain how the book works, or do you want me to?
Mo's usually good at that.
Yeah.
No.
So the book has pages that are stuck together. Now, this is
Not for
intentional.
obvious reasons.
And she's gone. She's like, oh, he
She didn't
explained
like
it poorly.
She didn't like the way you're explaining it, for sure.
A horrible description. I'm out of here. But you do see, I do have it behind me.
Mine too.
And so there is.
Yep, I got mine.
So there
Do
is,
you?
for his eyes only and for her eyes only, that are supposed to be just, you don't know what they are until you open them up. And that's some little fun that you can have with your partner or a random stranger that you've kidnapped, whatever the case might be.
And you know something? When the book was sent to me and I went to open it up, the first couple of pages, it was great. But then I saw those pages that were stuck together. I was like, oh, wait a minute. Usually if there's a page stuck together, that means something was going on, especially
the
title
used
of the book. Yeah, especially the title of the book. So I'm just like, what the hell? And that's when you guys told me that it was something that you have to open up, because it's kind of like The Secret. It's kind of like what you're going to do with your significant other. And it's the type of thing where, you're going to try this out. It's like step by step. There's so many pages in there that are stuck together that it gives you advice on how to do things.
Are we there?
We're praising your book right now. We kept going without you.
Oh, good.
I'm sorry that I didn't do a very good description that you felt the need to hang up on us.
I think I accidentally touched a button I shouldn't have touched.
That's the way I felt the last time we were on the show. And then I said, nope, touch away.
Yeah. Was that chapter 78? Touch different buttons? I don't know.
Yes.
Which button will we push?
But I was just about to say, a great thing about this book is it's adventurous without being over the top. Like, I don't think you're going to read something and feel completely out of your comfort zone. A little bit, but not to the point where you're scared and you're never going to go back to the book.
That's very true.
Laura, I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off. I'm going to add, because the point in my head, your book is it's almost similar to the older book, The Joy of Sex. You remember that book in the 70s, 80s? And I think it's somewhat similar to that. But the only difference is with that book, like me as a pervert teenager, that was like my porn. So I was able to just see the pictures in there because there was so many, and the rest is history. But with your book, it's for adults. It's not to be, you could do whatever you want with the book, but I feel that it enlightens you and teaches you the way of doing it. Even though I'm not saying The Joy of Sex didn't, but there were so many pictures in that book to show you different positions, different everything. You're like, wow. And even though it wasn't like, it was cartoonish in a sense, it still was a big seller. It still was a big hit, and everybody talked about it. And I think your book is the same way, but I just think that it's not so perverted in a sense, the way I felt The Joy of Sex was. I think that your book is more of a teaching. It's like I'll put it this way. Elementary school, junior high, and high school, The Joy of Sex. College, and getting your master's degree, your book, 101.
Oh, thank you. Well, The Joy of Sex was ahead of its time. I mean, it
Yeah.
was outrageous and X-ray. It had all these elements because no one had ever seen a book like The Joy of Sex,
Right.
where you, like you said, you got caught in the diagrams,
Mm-hmm.
and you probably didn't read the book.
Mm-hmm.
All
Yep.
right.
Yep.
You,
Absolutely.
but you mimicked the book,
Yep.
and that's just as good. Where 101 Nights of Great Sex takes, I'm going to have to say that probably 5 or 6 of the seductions in my book come from The Joy of Sex. That's Dr. Alex Comfort's best-selling book, and it's sold millions of copies. I'm trying to think. I think there's an oral technique in here, but what the difference between mine is, I take a technique and I put it in a time release formula, which is a sealed envelope.
Love that.
Then I bring in anticipation, because when you rip it out, your partner sees you rip it out.
Mm-hmm.
You want to know what's inside that envelope.
Yep.
And so they're going to show up in the bedroom to see what you got up your sleeve.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really magical.
Yep. And I also think your book is so educational. It's not just something that, I'm sorry, Mo. It's not just something that, again, like The Joy of Sex, you look at the pictures and stuff, and boom, you never even read what he wrote in there. Listen, I've seen that book over 100 times, no lie. And I still couldn't tell you one word in the book, but I can tell you the pictures that were in there. Your book is, it's totally different. It actually teaches you, if you pay attention, it actually teaches you, it actually shows you what to do and how to do it. And if you play your cards right,
partner excited. See, that is what's key. Most men will not ever buy a book on sex. They will not. They never have. They never will.
They think they know it all.
Right. And they're not going to sit down and read a book on sex that's 300 pages. They're just not going to do it. But they will rip out one sealed envelope, and they will read like Honeylingus, Massage Collage, which I talked about, number 8, Clit Bait. It's one envelope, and I give you a recipe, and I give you the ingredients to pull it off. But then I step it up, and I have you do it in front of your partner. And what that does, when you rip out that page, this is the key to it. You're on the hook now. She saw you rip out that page. She is expecting you to surprise her. And guess what that does? Now it makes you accountable to introducing her. But even cooler than this, guys, is she never knows what part of that seduction came from your imagination and what came from the book, because the page is sealed and you get all the credit. That is what is amazing. Lindsay, want to be seduced. We want to be seduced. We want variety. We want, novelty. Men, I think we talked about it a little earlier, Mo. I think, do you think they want the same? Do men want to be seduced? I think they do.
I believe they do. But here's Laura. Here's one of the things that I've noticed. Not only just being in the wrestling world and dealing and listening to wrestlers talk in the locker room, it's almost like there's no, how do I say this? There's no feeling for the woman. It's always them. It's always, they got to get off. They got to get their thing done. It's always them. Yeah, it's them. It's never putting consideration for your partner. It's never putting consideration for the woman. And my thing is, I've always wanted to make sure that the woman was taken care of before me. That's just me. That's just the way I am.
That's what makes you a great lover.
Exactly. I love it.
Your pleasure is giving her pleasure.
Got you, Chad.
Right. My pleasure is both. I love to give and I love to receive.
There you go.
That's really healthy too.
Yep, I can testify to that.
Lie back and be ravished.
Absolutely.
Get us up against the wall. Don't ask a lot of questions. Don't say, "Can I get you up against the wall? Can I kiss you?" You do it. Women want two things. They really want an alpha male and they really want a teddy bear. They struggle with both. They really do. Because if you're too much of a teddy bear and you can't be the alpha man with the plan, right? Then that's not good either. And then you're afraid to be too alpha because then you're like, uh-oh.
Mhm.
I mean, Mo, what do you think?
I just want to clarify. This is supposed to be with a partner, right? Not just like a random stranger on the street.
Really?
I just want to make sure, you know.
Yeah,
and you shouldn't pay for it either.
Yeah, I mean, it does say
Well, you pay for the book.
couples.
Pay
You
for
know,
the
it
book.
is
All right.
It does say it right on the cover
loving
there.
couples.
You said don't ask, just throw them against the wall. So I just want to clarify, you know.
And
I mean,
in
I guess
my
that's good. Yeah.
and in my defense, I wouldn't throw him against the wall. I'd throw him through a table.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's what he does. That's his thing.
Yeah, that's my
Mhm.
thing.
He's
I
got
throw
his
him through
I
a
thing.
would say
table.
throw them against the wall, except for you. I don't know. Maybe you probably should throw them against. You should throw them in the bed, and you should pin their hands above their head. Such a
Yes.
tiny little move, but it's so hot to have that just a little bit of aggression, right? And
Oof.
twirl them on the bed.
Thank God Dvon's sitting down right now.
I'm
Wait, I fell
just
off down
saying.
there.
I'm
Look
about
at
to take a
Like-
real cold shower right about now. I'm just saying.
We haven't even gotten into what's inside the sealed envelope, but yeah, you seduce them with your kisses, and then you let them know who's in charge for the night.
Yeah.
That's right.
Well,
Sounds-
I don't.
Lindsay's like, yes.
yes. Mhm. Yeah, everything you're saying is just true.
I don't want to take away any thunder from your book, of course. 101 Nights of Great Sex is what we're talking about. We'll get into one of the challenges, I guess you could say, here in a moment. But Dvon also wanted to make an announcement today that he decided he was going to write his own book.
I did?
He's going to call 101 Nights of Wood.
Dvon.
What the hell, Mo?
What?
Wow.
This is your. I'm sorry. Did I spoil the book too soon? I mean,
Listen, I thank God. I mean, listen, I
Hot
got
off the
another
press.
copy, another version of it, so the fans won't see it coming. But I mean, 101 Nights of Wood. I mean, you got to understand. I've been doing that for 30 years, so
I know.
I've been getting wood.
I know. And look at that face.
Oh
I'm
yeah.
happy I found that picture of you.
Listen, it's one of those.
Crazy.
It's one of those things where you have to show what you're feeling, and I was showing what I was feeling in that picture.
Are you in love right now, or do you have somebody that you can lavish all your love and your sweetness and softness on?
Is that me or Mo?
Am I saying?
Are you asking me or Mo?
I'm asking you. I'm sorry.
Oh yes, I did. Yeah,
I'm kind of looking in your box. You can't see me looking at your box, which anyway.
Yeah, no, I'm married.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Unhappy woman.
yeah, you can say that. No, ain't none of this shit, Mo. Ain't none of this. Ain't none of that. I
So
take
how
my
often-
time.
All right, so I just have to ask you, how often would you say you try something a little bit different in the bedroom?
I would say just about every time.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Just about every
Okay,
time.
you know we have a lot of questions when you say that, right? I mean, you're going to have to give details.
I'm so curious.
Well, I can and I can't. It's kind of one of those things where
What's your
All the
best
details
move?
and
Your
speak
best
slowly.
move. The thing that if you only could do one thing.
Yeah, let's hear
The
this.
3D, what is it?
3D is a good thing. I guess it would be oral.
Wow. All
Yeah.
right.
Okay.
I'm liking that.
Yeah.
What's your best tip? I'm going to give you one.
Okay.
Mo, before I give him your best move,
Is it in the book?
I'm going to give you, yes, I'm going to
Oh,
give
okay.
you, I'm going to give you number 44, Pink Breakfast. Go, Mo.
Wow.
Probably turning off the lights so nobody has to see me.
Oh.
Oh, Mo, that's not
Wow.
That's
Wow,
terrible.
Mo.
I'm
Mo.
adding levity. I don't know. The voice vibrates, so at the right time, that could be beneficial.
Mhm.
Well,
Okay.
vibrating and oral sex definitely goes together.
Did I tell you about the vibrating oral thing?
No.
No.
Oh my God. So this just happened with my guy. So he's going down on me. And I think I know it all. And there's always a surprise. There's always something exciting. And I had a little vibrator that I was playing with myself. Then he takes the vibrator and he's licking me, and he stuck it on the side of his tongue, and then he's started going down, and then he was licking me. It was the most intense. It was crazy. Like his tongue was vibrating at what, 1,000 RPMs? I don't know. I'm telling you, dudes, awesome. All right. Now you want to, okay, I'm going to follow that up with number 44, Pink Breakfast. Okay.
Pink Breakfast.
Number 44.
44.
All right. Number 44. So what's inside the sealed envelope, guys? Lindsay, it's called Pink Breakfast. You are going to do this in the morning. It's oral. And there is 1 strong tongue. These are the ingredients. 1 strong tongue and one beverage.
Okay.
Does lemonade Crystal Light count? Is the breakfast?
Nope. I gave you the best hint. I gave you such a good hint.
Coca-Cola?
Normally, I would never tell you beverage, but it's pink. No, she's pink because of what you're doing to her. This has got to be one of the best oral tricks in the book. For real. I'm not lying. It's unbelievable if you've never done it.
Probably not that wine that's in her.
Wait,
book.
Lindsay. What are you doing? What's Lindsay? She's drinking something.
This is just tea.
Oh,
Really, just tea?
just tea.
It's my nighttime tea.
Is it hot tea?
It is hot tea.
Sleepy time.
Oh, Dvon's got his own cup of tea.
Got my own cup of tea.
We know where we're going to, let me tell you a fact about what hot fluid does to a woman's clitoris, okay?
Oh, this is going to be good.
And it works both for, because I don't know how explicit I can be.
As specific as you want.
You want.
Yeah.
This is our own, this is our show, and this is why I wanted you on here, because I know you can go buck wild.
Oh, okay. I can. All right. So what does cold do to a man's cock?
Sometimes shrivel up. It all depends.
This is
Okay.
real small.
But mostly it contracts, right? And it shrivels up.
Mm-hmm.
Heat does exactly the opposite. It engorges. It engorges a woman's clitoris and also a man's cock. So it makes the cock about 1/3 larger and also a woman's clitoris. And if you take tea or hot coffee and you
I was going to say coffee.
take
You're
little
about to go
sips,
start pouring right now.
and you take little sips and you cover, you just bathe the pussy in it as you're licking, it'll speed up her orgasm, make it twice as intense. Same goes for your cock.
Excuse me 1 second. I'll be right back. I'm going
I was just gonna
Lindsay's
get
like,
tea real quick. Hang on. I gotta warm this up. I'll be right back.
You need a penis with that. You'll never, I'm telling you,
I was gonna go find a penis real quick.
it's the best. It's
Wow.
one of the best oral tricks in the book. For real. If you've never done it, Mo, never done it?
No.
Anyone here done it?
Yeah, I don't think I have. No.
You have no idea.
Don't worry. I'm doing it
Next
now.
time I come on, you both have to, all 3 of you have to have done it.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to be, listen, 90% of what's going on in that book, I'm going to have to already have done. I'm letting you know that right now.
I am telling you, your wife has something to look forward to.
Oh, boy.
Got a question
are
here.
You married? Mo, are you married?
No, I'm single. Byron wants to know, is this book on Amazon?
800 5-star reviews. You can get it while it's hot. Excuse the pun.
Get it in time for Valentine's Day.
Yes, it is. It's available on Amazon. But you see, just something little like that. You make her breakfast, you bring her to bed, you got a cup of coffee on the nightstand, you sneak in a little sip, and you go down on her. I'm telling you. Yeah. All right, I'm going to give you guys another tip. Okay, this is
Dvon's
really
wheels turning in that head there.
Listen, they've been turning when I knew she was coming on the show.
Okay, now for Valentine's Day, but this is really key. This is just something no one talks about. I do not know if we talked about it today, Mo. Did we talk about smelling, how to smell.
At the very end, so people don't know, we recorded a radio interview for my radio station earlier, and at the very end, you had mentioned how important smell is.
Guys, if you smell just right, you will get laid. That's the bottom line.
Yes, I can agree to that one.
Now, why do you say that?
Because it's happened many times.
He's just minding his own business, walking on.
I must always smell good.
Yeah, I'm just saying. It many times. I mean, with the wife, she's you smell real good, and all of a sudden, and we've been together for so long. It's like okay, and then but because I smell so good, it's like, well, damn, I need to use this more often.
It's true. Another way to drive her crazy in bed with that pink breakfast hot technique is get out of bed a little earlier on Saturday or Sunday, hop in the shower, get out of the shower, put on a fresh cologne, brush your teeth, have fresh hair, slip back under the covers, and you will get laid. Guaranteed.
I've done that.
You haven't done the hot tea, hot coffee. I'm telling you, it's so critical. And what I started to say is, this is really, I love this. One of the universal truths for all species on Earth, every critter on Earth that can have sex will have sex if the scent checks out okay.
Mm-hmm. And I'm a big believer. I've said that numerous times to friends and everything about the scent and everything. I think the pheromones is what really attracts us to each other. And I've always said that. I've always been a big believer in that. If you like a person's pheromones and how they smell and things like that, it's forget it. You'll never go down as a guy.
Yeah. And you know what? But when you've been with someone 5-10 years, one of the biggest things that goes is people get sloppy.
Mm-hmm.
They stop brushing their teeth.
Yep.
They stop taking care of themselves. So odor, grooming, huge. You're not going to get 101 nights of great sex. You're just not. I don't care what seduction you ripped out and you're running around with. You're just not.
Yep.
I haven't brushed your teeth. That's not happening.
I mean, Lindsay, would you agree that?
100%.
Exactly.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So clean breath, clean body. It's the uniform you put on before the game of love.
Oh, that's good. I'm gonna put number 1 on my uniform so everybody knows I'm number 1. No, but in our previous discussion,
are you guys crazy with the football? I'm so crazy with the football. I love it anyway. Best games I've ever seen, right?
Oh yeah, recently, absolutely. Like I'm a huge, since 1978, 79, I've been a huge New York Jets fan. Love the Jets, and every year they disappoint me. So a few times I had a neighbor next door who, with his company, always got football tickets here in Florida. And so I had never really been to a game in New York, but I've been to tons of games here in Florida. And I've always seen Tampa Bay, the Bucks, play with the Jets or the Giants. And of course, the Jets and Giants would always lose whenever I go. I thought I was the omen, so I was like, I'll never go to a game again. So then I guess it had to be about 3 weeks ago. I got so tired of the Jets just kept disappointing me. I was like, you know what? Every season, I think this is going to be our year. I think we're going to do it. And then all of a sudden, it's a complete letdown. By the time the end of the season, it's like we're like 1-15, and I'm just like, what the hell? So I decided to go to the Tampa Bay Bucks, and being that Tom Brady was on there this year and everything that he's done. Yeah, well, I wouldn't say I'm not completely getting rid of the Jets. I'm just saying I have another team to cheer for, as opposed to just having just one. Yeah. I like to watch a win. That's the truth. I think everybody likes to watch a winner. Mm-hmm. And with the games that they've had recently, with the Rams, the San Francisco 49ers, I mean, it's been great. I've been telling my wife, listen, I got to get home. I got to watch the football game. And of course, we always got things we got to do. So I miss half the quarter or half the first half and always get to like the second half. I'm like, look, next year, I ain't leaving this house on a Sunday. I'm letting you know right now. I am not leaving.
Right.
Not
Just
leaving.
like the Jets are going to be better next year, right? Yeah. Uh-huh.
Listen, and that's why I am not going to completely leave the Jets, because I got a feeling if I completely shut them out, they'll freaking go to the Super Bowl and win it next year. Highly unlikely that will happen. I mean,
But that's your luck, yeah.
That my luck. Jesus would have to come back and walk on the water for that to really happen, but I just don't see it happening.
You know what's crazy? The tickets here in LA, they're going for $12,000 a ticket. It's at the lowest amount that you can get online right now is $6,000.
Wait a minute, is this the play? Is that the playoff? The playoffs or just regular season?
Super Bowl.
Super Bowl.
Oh, the Super Bowl.
The
Yeah, I heard
most
about that.
expensive Super Bowl tickets in history this year.
That's what they said. I heard that on the news today.
It's insane. And Charlie, my guy, loves the Rams. And I'm going to root for the Bengals because I'm sorry. Burrow to me is the new Brady. And there's such underdogs. It's such a Cinderella story. It's so hard for me.
Yeah.
But I'm a Seahawk Cowboy fan, so But
are you going to the Super Bowl? You using all these book profits? No.
I wish, but we'll be watching it for sure. It'll be really exciting. So, but you know what? What I like to say to men, what I'd like to just before we take off, I want to say that Valentine's Day is a Super Bowl for women.
Mm-hmm.
I am so sorry. You better suit up. It's a great day to celebrate your relationship and the person you love. And what better way than to give your partner a that says, I desire you 101 times. Really high. I want to spice up her love life. I know I'm it's my baby, but it's really a wonderful gift. It is the most gifted book during Valentine's Day for the last 20 years. So
testify. Yes.
Once again, congratulations on the success of the book.
Yes.
Thank you.
This is the second time we've had you on, and it's still not enough. It seems like time flies by. We still
why
don't
are you
get
only calling me once? What's the once a year bit?
Well, we would love to do it. I'd love to do it 5 to 6 times out of the year, but we know you're busy with the book.
Oh, please. I'm not busy doing anything but hanging with super fun, wonderful people. That's what I live for.
Okay.
And we should do like every 2 or 3 months, whatever your schedule is, we should rip out 1 or 2 of these seductions, tell them exactly how to have a great night of sex, give them the ingredients, and have fun. Why not?
I love it. I want to do that. And being that you went on the air and said this, I'm holding you to that because I definitely want that. I am so for that.
Well, give me a call. Somebody's got my number.
We'll definitely get I got your publisher's number. We'll get it figured out. But
Alan, he's a good guy.
Yeah, Alan is a great guy. Don't tell him I said that. But if you're serious about this, we'll get you back here in the spring.
I'm 100% serious about it.
Oh, I'm definitely serious. Yes.
Every season, at least. Yeah. Every season.
And Lindsay, you have a homework assignment, the Velvet Tongue.
Velvet Tongue. All right.
So you're going to do the pink breakfast, but I also think you should do number 4, massage collage for your wife, your lovely wife. Little pink breakfast, a little massage collage, and Mo, you're single. So let's see which one's good for you. Wait.
All of them.
Wait. I don't think you have a hard time finding women, though. I think you're like on the down low with your sexuality a little bit.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I think all Mo has to do is talk and sound like Barry White, and he got him
Women are auditory. You know that, Mo.
I do consider myself lucky to have this voice. I will admit that.
Yeah. Now, right? Women, if you just say the right thing, oh my God! If you smell good and say the right thing, we're yours. We're better. We're melting for Mo.
Melting for Mo.
Yes.
Give you guys a big hug. This was so fun. I'm so glad I got to see you.
Oh, we're gonna see you in 2 months. And I'm going to make sure Mo contacts you, and I want you back.
That's 8.
Yep.
Let me do.
April showers seems appropriate. You
Oh,
know?
there we
Listen,
go.
Oh, hey now. Okay, let's do it in April.
yes, I mean we could do it earlier if you want.
Oh, it's up to you.
Okay, well we can do
Dvon would
March.
have you on every single
Yeah.
week if we could.
Yes, I would.
Oh
Yes,
my
I
God.
would.
We would have a lot of fun. It would always be about sex, though.
That's
You could
okay.
talk about a lot of
It wouldn't
stuff.
be a wrestling
No,
podcast anymore.
listen, as far as I'm concerned, I never wanted this show to be an all wrestling podcast.
It's true.
I've always said that. I've wanted this to be I wanted this to be not only some wrestling here, but everything that's going on in pop culture, just everything in general. I never wanted this to be an all wrestling show because with wrestling shows, a lot of fans look for you to try to change what a wrestling organization is doing. And we're not trying to do that. We might give the news about what's going on in certain federations, but as far as trying to change what these people are doing, we don't want to do that. And we don't care. We just watch the show and enjoy it. That's the way it should be. Just like back in the 80s and 70s when we didn't have the internet and basically, oops, that was my guy calling me. Just like back in the internet, when there was no internet, and we basically just had to either write letters or what have you. I like that way of being as opposed to now. Now I think the internet hurt us, and I think it helped us.
Oh, that's great. Well, I can be your sex girl.
I would love that.
Such
See
a
how I
serious
jumped
look
right
on
at
his face.
that.
I would
Like-
love that.
I would love that.
I would love to do that. So thank you guys so much for having me on. Hope you have a great Valentine's Day.
Thank
Guys,
you. Same
step
to you.
it up. You got to do something special. Do something that makes you feel young.
Yes.
Something for Valentine's that makes you feel young, out of the box, crazy.
Yeah, I'm gonna go all out this year. I'm having back surgery on the 15th of February, so I have to make sure that the 14th is gonna be memorable.
Got to be memorable. Well, you got the
Got to.
pink breakfast to wake
Oh
up.
yeah, that I'm gonna do.
Breakfast in bed, a little pink breakfast.
Yes,
I'm so worried
absolutely.
Dvon's going to throw out his back on the 14th. So the memory is going to involve going to the emergency room.
I mean,
Nah, I got
it's
I'm
prednisone
worried
for that.
for you.
No, I got prednisone for that. I'll take 2 and 3 of the
Okay,
prednisone
all right.
plus Motrin that
All
sets
right.
that off.
All right.
Number 60 Ballers Club has got maybe something you might think of doing. It's wild, but I'm just throwing that out.
Number
But
60.
I'm sure Ballers Club. I know you're in the
Ballers
Ballers
Club.
I think.
Oh
you
yeah.
will. Oh
Oh
yeah.
yeah. Oh yeah.
I don't even know what it is, but yeah, I'm in it.
Come on.
All right,
on,
guys,
yeah.
I gotta go. I love you so much.
All right.
Or something earlier. Again, thank you so much.
Thank you, Laura.
Love you, Laura. Thank you, Laura.
Bye. We'll see
Bye
you
bye,
next time.
Don. Bye bye. I love that woman. She is phenomenal.
This is pretty great.
Just phenomenal. And the great thing about it is, women like her, I love, and here's why. I hate women. I don't hate, but sometimes it's a turn off when you're with somebody, male or female, in terms of me, of course, with a woman and a woman with a man, when you want them to use their imagination when you're with them in terms of intimacy, and they don't. And that's kind of like a big turn. You want them to be able to let themselves go and do whatever they want to do, whatever comes to mind, because you never know what you like, they may like as well. You never know. This is why you're with them. If they didn't appreciate or like what they were seeing, they wouldn't be with you.
And more
101 ways of wood. Mm-hmm.
Oh my god.
I just want to know. I just want to know who I'm in that picture with, because that doesn't look familiar at all.
That was a picture of you and Natalia from a couple of years ago.
Natalia. Oh, Natty.
Yeah, Natty. Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
All right.
One of my favorites in
Explains the
WWE. I always say in WWE, there's 2 women on this earth that I know of that I've met that's a shoo-in into heaven. That's Molly Holly and Natalia. Both beautiful women inside and out. I love their personality. I love how they are. And I mean, it's great.
Yeah, well, I've never met Molly. Obviously, I talked to Natty a couple of times here on the website itself, but
Right.
But yeah, I've heard nothing but great things about Molly. And once again, it was great seeing her as a part of the Rumble this weekend. When Molly came out, fun little cross superhero thing with.
I was about to say,
Nikki
yeah.
ASH, so.
See, Hurricane don't even realize what he started when he came up with that gimmick. and how 30 something years later, it's still relevant and still means something. And you've got the new generation actually, doing it, keeping it alive, their superhero gimmick. So that's great.
He had a social post. Speaking of the hurricane, he had a social post just yesterday, I think, that his two sons, for the first time ever, and one of them is a little bit older, but for the first time ever, saw his figures on the shelf at the store, like a Target or whatever. Did you ever have any of those moments? Because you've had more than enough, yourself an action figure for them over the years. Did you have one of those proud
Yeah,
dads when they saw you on the shelf?
I did. I mean, my younger sons, like Preston, who's 13, and of course Talia and Amaya, who are 2 and 3, haven't seen that. Preston, I think, did maybe once or twice when me and Bubba came back to WWE, and they were making our action figures again. But since I've been gone, they haven't made anything. So I like to say, somebody asks me all the time, how come we don't see none of your figures in Walmart or Target? I go, because they sold out. Can't keep them on the shelves. They're hot.
Right.
Can't keep them up. People keep buying them.
Yeah, we do. We're definitely due for a Reverend Dvon figure, right? I mean, there
Oh,
was
man.
blood released back in the day, but we need more than that.
If I was able to come back and wrestle again, that would be the gimmick that I would want to do, because I'm a lot smarter now in the business. I understand how things work, and my thing was, I wasn't back then. I was petrified, because me and Bubba had split up for the first time. We're in a big, huge company like WWE. You either got to sink or swim, and I was ready, but I wasn't ready. I think with the mind frame that I have now, I'm good to go.
Oh, that's awesome. And, and I'm glad that you said that too, because it should be pointed out that, we see you guys on TV every single week. Some of us have been watching for years, decades, and you guys always come out with that swagger, that confidence and whatnot. But it's nice to hear that underneath all of that, you're human like the rest of us. And you also wondered, can I do this on my own?
Well, yeah, because Bubba and I, at that particular point in time, I think we would have been together for 10 years. And, ECW, I had another partner named Axel Rodden, God rest his soul, but right after Axel and I split up, I got right back with Bubba again. So I was
Partners with the name of Axel are the worst, aren't they?
Yeah. Good God. So
Yeah.
we were never on our own. We were together for so long. You look over to the corner where you're supposed to be. Bubba was always there. And then, the first 2 or 3 matches with Reverend Dvon, you look to the corner, it's not there. He's not there, yourself. So you get tired or what have you. You can't tag out. That's one of the disadvantages of being in a tag for so long and then going singles, because huffing and puffing and you can't control it. You can't tag out and get your breath unless you get thrown out of the ring and hide underneath the ring for a little bit, which I did a couple of times. But I mean, if I had a chance to go back, yeah. I mean, if I had a chance to go back, I would. That'd be the gimmick that I would want to do again, because I know I can make it happen. Because I know it happened the first time I did it. Certain people didn't believe in the gimmick. And I always said this, if it didn't work, then the people I went over on, and when I say went over on, the people I beat, it would have never happened. Randy Orton, John Cena, Val Venus, Mark Henry, and the biggest one, Triple H. Triple H would have never, especially during that time, he would have never laid down for me if he didn't believe that the Reverend Dvon gimmick was going somewhere, and he did, right on SmackDown, and I thank him for that. Every time I used to see Hunter, I used to thank him, because it was, he didn't have to do that, but he did.
Yeah, it was a big deal. I mean, anytime you work with Triple H nowadays is a big deal, but to be able to go over when he was the perennial world champion, that says something right there. And that's a pretty good list of names right there. I think if we ever get some of those names on the show, if we ever get Orton or Cena on the show, you should point out that, hey, I'm sorry guys, but I pinned you.
Yeah.
Well, me and John used to talk about that when I came back. Me and John talked about that. I was like, remember the Reverend Dvon gimmick? He goes, freak, you were my first rival. Because we used to go at it all the time, live events, definitely on SmackDown, things like that. So, it was fun working with John. It really was. And Randy, it was like, man, it was a pleasure because I watched his father for so long, in WWF, and then to see him, it was like being in the ring with his father. But I know it's not his father, but it was so
Right.
cool to be with a second generation wrestler, someone that I grew up watching. Now his son is in the federation and now working
And you're
with me.
beating him. Yeah.
And I'm beating him. But
He's
Randy
like,
beat me too Randy beat me a few times too. Boy, did he beat me.
Yeah, and now Cena has moved on. He's Hollywood, and he left you behind.
Well, you know what?
I think
Him
you need
and
to beat
Rock.
again.
Well, no, him and Rock. No, I'm trying to get into movie theaters. Not. I'm trying to get my face into the movie theaters. If I do that again, if I put him through a table, he won't have me anywhere near his movies.
Maybe that is the problem. You're trying to get your face in the movies. Maybe if you cover that, maybe you have a better chance.
Wow, Mo, that's even more brutal than when you went like this.
I can say these things because I'm across a state and a computer screen.
Yeah, and I can just laugh.
But no, that would be great if you could cross over, do some stuff. Like what's the Dvon Dudley dream role? I think I've asked you this before, but maybe it's changed.
What's that?
Yeah, your dream role. What's the Dvon Dudley dream role?
You mean what would I like to do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like who is Dvon born to play?
Yeah, there we go.
Mr. T.
Okay.
I would have loved to have been in that A-Team movie that they did, and they had what's his name in there?
The reboot one from
yeah,
yeah, Bradley Cooper, and then they had the UFC fighter, right?
Yeah. So I would have, no, that wasn't Jones. Oh God, why can't I remember his name now? Rampage Jackson.
Yeah.
Yes, because I did Mr. T for so long, growing up as a kid, and then the whole Dvon Dudley gimmick was Mr. T. Even though half of it was Mr. T and Samuel L. Jackson from Pulp Fiction, that was the Dvon Dudley character. It was Mr. T. And even when I talked to a certain degree, it was kind of like Mr. T. But I remember Vince, Steve, Austin, and a couple other, and Paul Heyman used to always ask me, can you do Mr. T? And I used to do it. And they used to go, God, you sound just like him. Because I studied him for so long that I was able to pick it up.
That's pretty cool. Can you still do it, or has it been like, are you out of practice?
I think I'm out of practice a little bit. It's like you gotta be in the mood. I mean, they put me on the spot back then, but then again, I was wrestling and I was doing it every night, in the arenas. So it was kind of different back then.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I would love to do something like that, or just be a bully or anything, on TV on the road. I mean, again, I don't want to feel any more bumps. I'd rather my stuff be choreographed and go cut. Let's get the stump double in. Yep. All right, and action. Take that bump.
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all. What about you, Lindsay? Did you ever want to be an actress?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
But
I'm not really good at like memorizing stuff. I want to be a villain. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're such a nice person, this would be a drastic change, right?
Yeah, exactly. Because I'm such a sweetheart in real life.
Well, what villain? There's got to be a villain that you've looked at and be like, oh, I could be that character.
I don't really know. Somebody who's like, you don't realize it. Whoa.
Yeah, you're breathing pretty heavy into that microphone there, Dvon.
I'm sorry. Am I really?
Yeah.
Holy cow!
That one was like the running of the
I couldn't even hear like myself think there.
I'm sorry. No wonder why you keep putting the mute button every time somebody talks. I'm just like, oh, sorry. I gotta keep this away from my mouth.
Nothing against your huffing and puffing, but we can only get turned on so much per show.
Yeah. Right.
Well, Laura was just on the show, so
exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
Who's your villain?
Huh?
Who was your villain?
My villain. I don't have a certain villain, but somebody who's like, you don't realize like how truly awful they are.
Oh.
And so like you're like, oh, she's really terrible, and then I just kill everybody.
She's just describing herself. She's like, you don't really know how terrible they are.
You don't really know how terrible I am. No, just one of those.
I don't have to act. That's really me.
Basically, that's what it is. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would be a really like. Everybody else has these biggest aspirations. Like Dvon's like, I'd be Mr. T, and that's a name everybody knows. He'd be good at it. Mine is like the bar is so much lower than a Mr. T right there. There's a character that if you watch the animated Marvel show on Disney Plus, What If, there's a character called the Watcher. I always wanted to voice the Watcher. I don't even want to put him on screen. I just want to voice the Watcher. So this way I can just talk about people, look down on people, like
That's
I don't
hilarious.
know, sound all knowledgeable and shit.
See?
That's great. Well, hey, let me ask you a question, Mo. Maybe you could look this up as I'm talking. There was an exorcism performed, changing topic. There was an exorcism performed in the Philippines, but it was weird though. It was very, very weird. Excuse me. It was very weird the way, because it was a young girl and they did that. Did you pull it up?
Clarita Villanueva?
Well, there was this thing behind this exorcism that caught my attention. It was on HLN News.
Okay.
And Robin Mean in the morning, she basically was talking about it. I can't remember.
Recently?
Yes, this was recently. Yep.
Because I saw one from March of 2021, but if she's talking about it, odds are it's not that one then.
No, I got to go back and look at it because I wrote it down, but I don't have it on me. And I was just thinking, I was like, man, I should bring this up on the show.
Although there is a movie, a Philippine horror comedy film called The Exorcist, for like sister. We should check that out. The Exorcist.
That's great.
Sis. Let's go get exercise.
Okay, priest forced me to have exorcism because of my demonic tattoos. Posted 5 days ago from the New York Post.
That might have been it. It was something weird like that. Like they were forcing this young lady to do an exorcism because of something either she did or.
I'm sorry that the camera probably won't focus on it, but that's
they didn't. I can see
her face tattoos.
Her everything tattoos.
I think that might have been it. And they forced her to have an exorcism.
She has spent over $26,000 tattooing 60 to 70% of her body.
Wow.
And because of that, the priest saw her and said that she fell into the wrong crowd and was forced to do this, that she needed to get an exorcism.
Sure did.
Yeah.
I think the priest needed an exorcism.
Yeah. Yeah, sorry, it's not really focusing. But
I mean, couldn't they just do like a tattoo removal process instead of an exorcism?
One hell of a, well, I don't know. So there you go. Well, now I have to pay attention to this story and see if there's any sort of update on this. Yeah. Is that if that turns into a movie, you gonna watch that too, Dvon?
Oh yeah. I mean, I as much as I'm scared of the movie, I've come to embrace it a little bit. And before I couldn't come upstairs and walk by the steps here upstairs where I do the podcast without thinking of Linda Blair doing the spider walk. Now I go by the steps at night and I'm like, no big deal.
Bring it on, Linda.
I ain't talking about bring it on. I ain't asking.
So brave.
No. I ain't asking for it to come. I just walk by it, don't even pay attention to it. Like my daughter now, like for the past maybe 6-7 months, she's been sleeping with us. And it's like, oh, it's killing me. Like her foot winds up in my face. Her other foot winds up in Taylor's face. It's crazy. And it's like, oh, I get up, my back is hurting even more than what it was. And then my neck's got kink in it because I'm sleeping a certain way because I don't want to roll over on my daughter. So now she's starting to sleep. Yeah, she started sleeping in her room now. But every night, like clockwork, she'll come in. Daddy, there's a monster in my bed. There's a monster underneath my bed. I'm just like, oh, here we go. It's one of those. So I got to go in the room with her, get on the ground, look underneath the bed and go, get out of here, monster. I'm going to whoop your ass. I don't say ass, but get out, whoop your butt. Don't you come back in my daughter's room. And I go, and I act like the monster's leaving. And he go like this. And she goes, Daddy, did the monster leave? I go, the monster's gone, baby. And she goes, she went, so woof, yes. And she gets in the bed and falls asleep. It's great. It's funny.
That's adorable.
I mean,
yeah.
If you were a better daddy, you would just fundamentally fix the problem and just get rid of the. That's fine. It's whatever.
Listen, I got a friend of mine named Nicole, who I think I've mentioned to both of you once or twice, where she reads cards and stuff like that. I tried to get her to come over here and sage the house, but she keeps she keeps having excuses of why to come over here and do it. I'm like, are you making excuses or is something making you not want to come over here and do it? Yeah.
Maybe there is a monster under that bed. Huh.
Like in my laundry room, the light went out, and I was like, wait a minute, I just changed this light. So I went back in there and I went to go do it again, and I couldn't get the screw off the fixture. I'm like, all right, what the hell? I'll do it later. I got down off the ladder. I'll go out and the light comes on. I went, okay, now stop playing.
Oh my.
I like, get the hell out of my house.
A little fun.
Yeah, I was told that if you tell it to leave, it should leave.
It should.
I wish there was scary music that was preset into the background music. I would have started playing that right there as you were talking, you know. But there's nothing scary, so we're gonna work on that. One last question before we wrap this up here, and this question is directed to Lindsay. Starbucks date, Lindsay.
Sure, Chad, if you're paying. Get some Starbucks with you.
There you go. All right.
Damn. Now, Lindsay, if he's gonna pay for it, if I was you, I'd get the refresher drink. I would get the sandwich.
Okay.
They got the nice sandwich and the egg bites.
The egg bites are good, and a cake pop.
Love it. And yes, get them. And you know what? I realized Starbucks.
Dvon's going on this date too, by the way.
I guess so.
I'm getting everything.
Chad, you're buying for both of us.
Yes, Starbucks and Dunkin' Donuts got this rivalry, like McDonald's and Burger King. It's like every time you see a Starbucks, there's a Dunkin' Donuts 2 blocks down.
Yeah.
And every time Starbucks makes something, Dunkin' Donuts has to copy it and try to make it better. It's great because now Dunkin' Donuts has the bites now, but it looks like donuts. Yeah.
Have you had the avocado toast, Dunkin' Donuts?
No, I'm not a big fan of avocado.
Well,
I'm trying.
I don't know what to tell you.
That's a perfect note to end on right there.
Avocado
Because
toast,
somebody
guys.
said something crazy like that. He obviously needs to rest up. So
Yeah, I know. I'm trying. I'm trying my best.
although your expertise on Dunkin' Donuts is impressive, I got to give you that.